So you want to make art like this? Let me show you how. To get set up, you'll need 2 sheets of paper, 4 toothpicks, 2 popsicle sticks, a low and high grit sandpaper, ivory soap, and a pattern template. It'll also be nice to have a paintbrush, cup, and lacquer. This is what I use. First, we'll use the sandpaper to shape our tools. The low grit is used to form the general shape. You only need 2 tools for most carves: a gouge knife with a flat head, and a detail knife with an angled head. The high grit is used to sharpen them. You want to sharpen them intermittently throughout the carving session. This first piece of paper is just for catching the sawdust. The second piece is what we'll carve over. We use ivory soap because it's soft and moist, which means it resists cracking and crumbling. It's also cheap and manufactured in rectangles. This paper with the boat is called a pattern template. Pattern templates can be free-drawn, printed, or traced from an image. To use it, pin it to the bar of soap and poke holes along the lines to trace it into the soap. I prefer to trace just outside the lines because it's easier to take soap off than put it back on. Now I'll explain the basic soap carving techniques. First of which is a stop cut, where you cut straight into the soap and then cut at an angle, removing a V-shaped piece of material. Switching to the gouge, we have the chop cut for removing larger chunks of material. Just force the gouge straight down into the soap. The smaller the cuts, the better. Large chop cuts are how most cracks in the soap happen. Next is smoothing over, which involves pushing or pulling the popsicle stick over the soap to take small shavings off. This can work with both the sharp and dull ends of the stick depending on your needs. Toothpicks can be used for details. Finally, the push cut. This involves pushing the gouge across the soap, producing a sliver of material. This has a bunch of different purposes, including leveling an area, creating 3D relief, as I'm doing now, and removing edges. Let's say I made a mistake and a piece of soap broke off. To fix this, make a soap slurry by mixing soap and water. Spread some of the mixture on a broken piece, like glue, and reattach it to the soap. It won't be as strong as before, but it works well enough. Now let's suppose I've finished carving. I could use my carved soap as, well, soap, but I like to hold on to my art. To finish the soap, clean up by brushing off the shavings and dust. Next, you can choose to wet sand by taking a moist brush and sweeping over the soap. This further smooths the work, but don't do too much or the soap will start to foam. Finally, when dry, you can spray with the lacquer. I usually do 2 layers, and if I want to paint the soap, I paint in between those 2 layers. Thanks for watching. Soap carving is a beginner-friendly, fun, and relaxing hobby. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.